Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. Highway Patrol's responsibility as a law enforcement agency extends to all vehicles on the state roads, even the cars that travel without touching the ground. These are the new cars, fresh from the factory, transported by carriers to specified distribution points. The drivers depend on the Highway Patrol to forewarn them of all danger elements along the truck routes. But unfortunately, the most dangerous element of all, the human one, is the most unpredictable.
Well, it's any minute now, if it's on schedule.
Maybe he's running on a new schedule. A new route, maybe.
You sound like you want it that way.
Maybe.
You're still worried, huh?
Aren't you?
Look, nothing's gonna go wrong. Nobody's gonna get hurt.
You're trying to convince me or yourself?
Brad, we've been through this 100 times. Does the company get hurt? No, they're insured. Does the insurance company get hurt? No, they've been collecting premiums from the company.
Yeah, I know, but what about the driver?
Well, he wakes up with a headache. We've had nothing but headaches for years, and those cars out
Here
there...
they come.
Well, it's up to you.
What are you doing making me decide? Making me responsible?
You scared?
Sure, aren't you?
There's not another car in sight, Red. It's gonna be easy.
What's the matter with you? You crazy or something?
Come on, come on. Nice work, kid. 3 cars, brand new. Each one of them worth at least $3 grand. That's more money than we'll see in a lifetime on that lousy farm.
Go on, get that monster out of here. I'll finish this.
Okay, I'll see you at the farm.
Right.
George W. Bennett. Shelter's license. Who found him?
A couple of kids who were hiking along the highway.
How is he?
He's dead. Fractured skull and shock. The ambulance attendant said it couldn't have happened more than 2 or 3 hours ago.
Well, I guess robbery wasn't the motive. Oh, Teamsters Union, hmm?
He was carrying papers from the Overland Carrier Company. We put in a call to them long distance.
And when they called back, find out why he didn't have a truck.
He had a truck. Somebody had one. There were skid marks on the road. Looked like they were made by a heavy vehicle. Probably a transporter. Sergeant Moore speaking. It's the Carrier Company.
I'll take it in the office.
You get it in there and then come out and help me with the carrier. Come on, let's make it fast. It's taking us too long already.
Well, this whole lousy farm isn't worth half what we got inside that barn.
Nothing's going to be worth anything if we don't ditch this carrier. Look, you drive it, and I'll follow you in the pickup.
You'd better. With 3 brand new cars in there, I just hate to have to walk back.
You feeling better, huh, kid?
Aren't you?
No, that'll be all the information we'll need for the moment. I would like to get a dispatcher's report from you, though, as soon as possible. No, we'll do the best we can. But thanks very much. That murder victim, what's his name?
Bennett.
Well, he was driving a carrier with 3 new cars on it, regular scheduled route.
Well, there's the motive. Somebody knew just when to expect him.
And maybe somebody else is waiting for other carriers and other routes. Here's the makes, engine number, and model. Get an APB on it right away.
You think it was a professional job?
Murder, hijacking, and grand theft, that takes talent.
What'll we do?
Go looking for talent.
Okay, now wipe fingerprints off the wheel and off the door.
Good idea. Think they'll ever find the carrier in this place?
Let them find it. It's cars we care about.
No, I never thought it'd be this easy.
We got plenty to do, boy.
It's a lot better than farming. Easier on the back.
Listen, we did this for one reason, to make money. Money for a new farm. We're farmers, not hijackers.
Sure, but everybody should have a hobby.
Judging from these skid marks, he must have stopped in an awful hurry.
Yeah,
Where'd they find the body?
in the weeds over there.
They sure picked a good spot. They could have shot him and nobody would have noticed.
Why didn't they? It would have been easier.
I think they're more interested in stealing cars than killing people.
Yeah, it's got a professional look to it, all right.
Whoever did this knew what he was doing and how to do it. 2150 to headquarters.
Come in, 2150.
The lab boys come up with anything on that hijacking yet?
Negative.
Call records. I want to run down on every hijacking case we've handled in the past 3 years. Tell them to make it fast. Come on, let's go.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah, too beautiful. We're gonna mess them up a little.
It's almost a crime doing something like that.
Get to work.
Tires first?
Yeah, take off the new ones, put on the used ones.
Give them that lived-in look, huh?
Yeah, I'll work on the tires. You pour some oil on the engines. Make them look like they got some miles on them.
What about the speedometers?
I'll worry about that after we get the heavy work done. Put some nicks and dents in the fenders and bumpers, too.
You know, I should apologize to you, Phil,
Why?
for being so worried before. I never thought it'd be this much of a breeze.
Well, that breeze is going to turn into an ill wind if you don't get to work.
Work? This is a hobby. Hijacking for fun and profit.
Turn on one of the radios, will you? Put it on the news. See if that driver's told his story to anybody yet.
Good idea.
Hey, I said the news.
Hey, when are we going to run the ads, Phil?
What ads?
You know, low mileage, like new cars, sacrifice.
We got to make them look that way first.
Sorry, beautiful, but this is bigger than the both of us.
Anything on the APB?
Yeah, but no results. They've stopped 4 auto carriers, all carrying the wrong kind of cars.
Well, give them time.
With no leads to work on, Dan Matthews searched the files of past hijacking cases, hoping to find a clue, a hint, anything that might suggest the identity of the guilty parties. And in a ramshackle barn, only a stone's throw from the scene of the crime, Phil and Red Hogan worked right through the night, aging the factory-fresh cars.
They look pretty good, don't they?
Low mileage like new cars. Sold and sacrificed by heartbroken owners.
Let's get some breakfast. Hey, you better move up the mileage on the speedometers.
Oh, after breakfast. You keep driving me like this, I'll go back to farming.
You never left.
Ah, but I might. This sort of thing pays off faster and better.
Don't start getting ideas, little brother. We're farmers. That's our life.
Pop used to talk like that. He died broke, right here on this farm.
Yeah? Where do you want to die? In prison somewhere?
Wait a minute, Phil. Don't start talking like a scoutmaster to me. This was your idea.
Sure, my idea. Pull one job. Just one. So we can raise enough cash to get us a good farm, then we...
One job. What's the difference if you break the law once or a dozen times? The way we do it, nobody gets hurt. You said so yourself.
And now the 8 a.m. edition of the news, brought to you as a regular public service feature of this station. On the local scene, residents of Marlborough County were shocked by the announcement of the alleged murder of a man identified as George W. Bennett, a driver for the Overland Carrier Company. 2 children found Bennett's body yesterday afternoon, lying just off the highway about 3 miles south of Capital City. Investigation by the Highway Patrol disclosed that Bennett had been driving an auto carrier bearing 3 late-model cars when the attack occurred. It is believed that he was the victim of hijackers who apparently halted his car.
They're talking about us.
Yeah.
What are we going to do, Phil? Phil? They want us for murder. We're not murderers.
He's dead.
Yeah, but we didn't.
That makes us murderers. We killed him.
But they don't know yet. They don't know it's us.
Hell no. We got a barn full of evidence.
Well, we fixed all that. We changed them, made them look different.
Yeah, you want to take a chance on that? Do you? Look, it's one thing stealing cars. At the worst, you get caught, spend a few years in prison, but once murder. When you kill somebody...
What are we going to do, Phil?
Well, we got to get rid of them, Red. These cars, they'll drive us right into the death house.
While Red and Phil Hogan planned to dispose of the evidence that would incriminate them, the Highway Patrol received its first important lead. A passing motorist had discovered the abandoned auto carrier and reported it to headquarters.
Passing motorist reported it.
Yeah, I know.
What does it look like to you?
Just plain mud.
Road's as dry as dust.
Some straw mixed in with it.
Might have been driven through a barnyard.
Any farms around here?
2 or 3. Barnyard's always muddy.
2150. Yeah. $21.50 by.
The dispatcher's report just came in from the carrier company. You said you wanted to look it over.
Good, I'll be right in. Have the lab boys come out. I got something for them.
10-4.
Johnson, tell the lab boys I want to report as soon as possible.
Right.
Hey, hold it, Phil. We're crazy to be driving these cars in broad daylight. At least wait till it gets dark.
Yeah, and give the cops a whole day to move in on us. We're listed as killers in their book, Red.
Yeah, I know, but if we waited,
These cars are beginning to smell like the gas chamber. We got to get rid of them.
Well, I'll get one of the other cars.
No, you follow me in the pickup. Then we can get back here faster and get rid of the others.
Okay.
What do you make of this?
Mud?
That's all?
That's all.
What about the stuff mixed with it?
A little bit of grass, maybe hay or weeds.
Lab men back yet?
No, but here's the dispatcher's report from that carrier company. Gives a complete rundown of the route taken by the carrier, time in lab, speedometer reading at time of departure, and all the scheduled stops en route.
What's the speedometer reading?
12,740 miles out of what it left the factory yards.
That's one down, two to go.
I hope they don't find it.
I'll let them find it as long as they don't find us.
Headquarters to 4240.
4240, bye.
You still at the carrier?
Positive. The lab man left a few minutes ago.
Check the speedometer on it. I want the exact mileage.
10-4, stand by.
10-4. You check the wall map. Get me the exact mileage from the carrier's departure to where we found the skid marks on the road.
To headquarters.
Headquarters, bye.
Here's the speedometer reading on the carrier.
Okay, shoot.
12884. Repeat, 12884.
12884. Thanks, that's all for now.
10-4.
How you making out?
I got it. There's where the factory's located.
Oh, go on.
Here's where the crime was committed.
Let's see. At that point, the speedometer read 12740. How far is that from the factory?
124 miles.
Add that. Well, if the carrier had gone no further than the scene of the crime right here, speedometer would have read 12864. Where do we find the carrier?
Right here.
Well, at that point, the speedometer reading was 12884. That means the carrier was driven 20 miles from the scene of the crime. How far is it from here to here?
Just about 6 miles.
6 miles from the scene of the crime to where we found it, huh? The speedometer tells us it was driven 20 miles. A 6 from 20 leaves 14. We'll assume after the hijacking, the carrier was driven those 14 miles. You still with me?
Yeah, they drove the carrier someplace to unload the cars and then ditched it.
All right, let's make 2 circles with 14-mile diameters. Somewhere inside those 2 circles, we're going to find 3 stolen cars.
That's a pretty desolate area. Not many roads, just a few homes and farms.
Well, it narrows down. Send a unit out. Have them check all the farms, back roads, silos, barns, and... Barns. Miss Matthews, get me to the lab right away. Oh, I see. All right, thanks very much. Carrier went through a farm, all right. There was mud, alfalfa, and hay on the wheels. 4240 takes the first circle. You and I will cover the second one. Come on.
Phil, where can we take them? They don't have much
Over
gas.
a cliff in a lake anywhere. Just take them and leave them. Forget where they are.
What if we're seen walking back here?
Since when's it a crime to walk? I'll meet you right here.
Doesn't make any sense. It's a brand new car, but look at the tires.
Hundreds of miles on them.
The speedometer's got 4 4/10 miles on it. Boy, they sure did their best to make this one grow old ungracefully.
That's one way to camouflage them.
It's a real professional job, too. Now, let's work it out in geometry.
More circles?
Yeah, get your map out.
I got the circles already made. A is where the crime was committed, and B is where the carrier was found.
Now, where are we now?
Right here.
Let's see. Those cars were brand new. That one's been driven 4 4/10 miles.
And it ended up right here.
Yeah. Draw a circle, 4 4/10 miles in radius. If it crosses one of the bigger circles, that's where the car came from.
This one will have to be approximate. How's that?
Well, if there's a farm here or here, we're in business. You know this area better than we do. Any farms around here?
Well, this one's practically in the middle of the picnic grounds and the reservoir. I'd put my money on the other one.
All right, you call the lab men. Have them check the car for prints. Also, check the mud on the tires. Maybe we'll find the same thing we have on the carrier. Let's go.
All that work, all night long, and we end up ditching the cars.
Yeah, well, if you want to go back and get them, go ahead.
That's funny. Real funny.
Look, we're clear. We got nothing to worry about. Not a shred of evidence against us.
I hope you're right. Phil, the tires.
What?
These tires are brand new. They'll be able to trace them.
Get them on a truck. We'll dump them someplace.
Just 2 more.
Red! Red, come here! Look, cops!
Let's get out of here.
Turn around. Get your hands up in the cab.
He's flattered in the tires.
We thought we were dealing with professionals.
Oh, they are professionals. And they're going to be paid for the job. Next week's Highway Patrol story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.